Hello, dear friends. Let's understand a poem today. Have you heard about the great poet Shelley? Percy Bysshe Shelley was one of the major English romantic poets. He is best known for his radical and passionate works, which often address themes of political and social change, nature, and the power of the human spirit. He is celebrated for his lyrical and imaginative style. Despite his relatively short life, Shelley's influence on literature and philosophy has been profound, leaving a lasting legacy in the Romantic tradition. Ode to the West Wind is a deeply moving poem that captures the powerful and transformative forces of nature, represented by the west wind. Shelley uses vivid imagery and passionate language to evoke the wind's ability to both destroy and create, symbolizing the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. The poem consists of 5 sections, each exploring different aspects of the wind's influence on the earth, the sky, the sea, and the poet himself. Let me explain the brief summary of each section for you. In section 1, the poet addresses the west wind as the breath of autumn's being, which drives away the dead leaves like ghosts and carries seeds to their dark wintry bed. Wind is both a destroyer and a preserver, preparing the way for new life in spring. In section 2, wind is depicted as a powerful force in the sky, scattering clouds like decaying leaves and bringing storms. It is a dirge of the dying year, heralding the end of autumn and the coming of winter. In section 3, the poet imagines the wind awakening the Mediterranean Sea from its summer slumber, stirring its waters and revealing ancient, submerged palaces and towers. The sea trembles and responds to the wind's call. In section 4, the poet expresses a desire to be as free and powerful as the wind, to be carried away like a dead leaf, a cloud, or a wave. He longs to escape the suffering and constraints of life, asking the wind to lift him and give him strength. In section 5, the poet asks the wind to make him its instrument, like a lyre, so that his thoughts and words can be spread throughout the world. He ends with a hopeful note, suggesting that the harshness of winter will eventually give way to the renewal of spring. Now let's read the poem and understand the line-by-line meaning. Please read the poem on the screen. The speaker addresses the west wind as a powerful force of nature, integral to the essence of autumn. The wind's presence, though invisible, drives away the dead leaves. The dead leaves are compared to ghosts fleeing from a magician, emphasizing their helplessness and the wind's control. The colors of the leaves are described, symbolizing the decay and variety of autumn. The leaves are likened to a plague-stricken crowd, highlighting their lifelessness and the spread of decay. The wind transports the leaves to their resting place for winter, acting as a charioteer. The seeds are carried by the wind and lie dormant, waiting for spring. The seeds are compared to corpses in graves, emphasizing their dormant state. The winds, as your sister, or the spring wind will awaken the seeds. The spring wind will blow its trumpet, signaling the end of winter and the start of new growth. The new buds will appear, nurtured by the spring wind. The landscape will be filled with vibrant colors and scents. The west wind is a ubiquitous and wild force. The wind is both a destroyer of the old and a preserver of the new. The speaker calls out to it, acknowledging its dual nature. The wind moves among the turbulent skies. The clouds are compared to the dead leaves of the earth, scattered by the wind. The clouds are shaken loose from the sky and sea. The clouds are described as angels, bringing rain and lightning. The clouds cover the sky, which is described as a blue ocean. The clouds resemble hair being lifted by the wind. The image of the Maenad, a frenzied follower of Dionysus, emphasizes the wild and chaotic nature of the wind. The clouds stretch from the horizon to the highest point in the sky. The clouds are the harbingers of an impending storm. The wind is the dirge, the funeral song of the dying year, as night falls. The night sky becomes a vast tomb for the year. The wind's power fills the sky. The sky is thick with clouds and vapors. The storm will bring rain, lightning, and hail. The speaker calls out to the wind once more. The wind awakens the Mediterranean Sea from its calm summer state. The sea is personified as lying peacefully. The sea is soothed by its own clear waters. The sea lies next to an island in the Bay of Bahia, a place known for its beauty and volcanic activity. The sea dreams of ancient structures. These structures appear to tremble in the water's clear light. The ruins are covered with blue moss and flowers. The sight is so beautiful it overwhelms the senses. The wind's path extends across the Atlantic Ocean. The ocean waters split into deep chasms. Beneath the surface, sea plants and underwater forests exist. These underwater plants are lifeless, similar to land foliage in winter. The sea life responds to the wind's voice with fear. The sea plants shudder and shed their foliage. The speaker calls out to the wind again. The speaker wishes to be carried by the wind like a dead leaf. The speaker wishes to be a cloud traveling with the wind. The speaker wishes to be a wave, feeling the wind's force. The speaker desires the freedom and strength of the wind. The wind is addressed as uncontrollable. The speaker reminisces about his youthful freedom. The speaker wishes to join the wind in its travels. The speaker recalls trying to match the wind's speed as a child. As a child, the speaker's dreams seemed attainable. Now, in desperation, the speaker prays to the wind. The speaker pleads to be lifted by the wind. The speaker feels the pain and suffering of life. Time has weighed down and oppressed the speaker. The speaker once shared the wind's qualities of being untamed, swift, and proud. The speaker asks to be made an instrument of the wind, like the forest. The speaker's thoughts are compared to falling leaves. The wind's powerful music is tumultuous. The wind's music will blend with the speaker's thoughts, creating an autumnal tone. The tone is bittersweet. The speaker asks the fierce wind spirit. The speaker wants the wind to embody his spirit. The speaker wants the wind to scatter his thoughts like dead leaves. The scattered thoughts will inspire new ideas and growth. The speaker's poem will act as a spell. The poem will spread like sparks from a fire. The speaker's words will be spread among people. The speaker wants to be a voice for the wind to the dormant earth. The speaker wants to proclaim a prophecy through the wind. The poem ends on a hopeful note, suggesting that after the hardships of winter, spring will surely follow. Ode to the West Wind is a richly evocative poem that explores the transformative power of the west wind, both in nature and within the poet's soul. Shelley personifies the wind, addressing it directly as a mighty force that shapes the natural world through its dual roles as destroyer and preserver. The poem opens with the wind driving away dead leaves like ghosts fleeing from an enchanter. These leaves are described in various colors: yellow, black, pale, and red, symbolizing the decay of autumn. The wind is also responsible for scattering seeds into their winter graves, where they will remain dormant until spring arrives to awaken them, illustrating the cycle of death and rebirth in nature. Moving to the sky, Shelley describes the wind scattering clouds like withered leaves. These clouds bring storms, symbolized as angels of rain and lightning. The wind creates a tumultuous atmosphere, announcing the end of the year and the onset of winter, filling the sky with the foreboding presence of rain, fire, and hail. This imagery underscores the wind's role in the seasonal transitions and its immense power over the natural world. The focus then shifts to the sea, where the west wind awakens the Mediterranean from its tranquil summer slumber. The wind stirs the waters, revealing ancient, submerged palaces and towers that are covered in azure moss and flowers. This scene highlights the wind's ability to uncover and transform even the hidden depths of the ocean, invoking a sense of awe and reverence for its reach and influence. In a more personal turn, Shelley expresses a deep yearning to be as free and powerful as the wind. He wishes he could be a leaf, a cloud, or a wave, carried by the wind's strength and sharing in its boundless energy. The poet reflects on his youthful days when he felt untamed and full of life, much like the wind. Now, weighed down by the burdens and pains of life, he pleads with the wind to lift him and invigorate his spirit. The poem culminates in a fervent plea for the wind to make the poet its instrument, like a lyre, so that his thoughts and words can be spread across the world. Shelley envisions his dead thoughts being scattered like leaves, quickening new ideas and bringing about a rebirth of creativity and inspiration. He asks the wind to be the voice of his prophecy, spreading his message of renewal and hope. The poem ends on an optimistic note, suggesting that the harshness of winter is always followed by the renewal of spring, symbolizing the perpetual cycle of life and the promise of new beginnings. Through vivid imagery and impassioned language, Shelley captures the essence of the west wind as a powerful symbol of nature's cyclical process of destruction and rebirth, paralleling his own desire for personal and creative transformation. The poem is both a celebration of the wind's might and a heartfelt invocation for inspiration and renewal. So that was it for the poem. I hope you were able to follow me in the lesson. Please do give a like and subscribe the channel if it did resonate. Happy learning!